Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over a story titled, I, a 31-year-old female, kinda got ghosted by my husband, a 33-year-old male. And guys, this story which I'm about to go over is written by a woman, and she is pretty much singing the blues and crying a river because her husband has pretty much cut her off completely. And can you guess why? Well, you're going to see she wasn't exactly being a very faithful wife, to put it mildly. And now she's looking for a whole lot of attention and pity because guess what? He's put her in her place and she's pretty much up shit's creek. Pardon my French. And what's interesting about this story, guys, is that you're going to see here that she's going to claim that she was in this great, fulfilling marriage and blah, blah, blah. And yet just couldn't seem to help herself when her ex-boyfriend came a-calling and started rolling in the hay with him for many, many months in many different locations. I don't want to reveal too much. And then you're going to see how this whole thing unwinds. Let me tell you guys, she is definitely going to get the A-hole of the year award because she's motorcycles. She is definitely a whole 100% narcissist. Okay, it is me. You're going to see through the whole thing. And it's amazing to me, guys, how nowadays you get people in this world that can do all these awful things to someone else they claim they love, and yet no matter what, they're always the victim. They always try to turn around and make the other person be the bad guy, even though their actions are just despicable. But anyhow, guys, I don't want to reveal too much here, so I'll get into the article here, or story. Starts off, I'm in a really horrible situation, and I have no idea what to do right now. I'm very new to Reddit and just need some advice, so sorry in advance for the format and the length. This is very long. I'm probably going to get flamed, but while you're at it, at least give me advice on how to proceed. So she already knows that she's going to get just torn apart in the comment section because of her actions and her attitude. She knows it. Maybe she wants attention, who knows? And I had some comments at the end, so you're going to get to see some of these. She says, my husband and I have been together for 8 years and married for 6. We have a son together, 4-year-old boy, and have been in a very happy and fulfilling relationship until about 6 months ago. Are you sure about that? Really? A fulfilling and happy relationship? Because if you truly were, let me tell you, you wouldn't have done what I know what you did. It wouldn't have happened. Or if you were unhappy, you would at least try to work on it, talk to your husband, something. No. I don't want to hear that I'm happy and fulfilled BS. She says, I started an affair with my ex from college that lasted about 4 months. I generally had no intentions of cheating and thought it was just catching up with an old friend when he reached out to me. An ex-boyfriend is not an old friend, okay? She should not be hanging out with an ex-boyfriend, okay? Maybe if it was a dude that she had a strictly platonic relationship back in college or whatever, and she was interested in at all, that might have been one thing. Even then, I would definitely be skeptical. But an old boyfriend? No. So obviously something is missing from her life, in her view, to justify meeting up with the old boyfriend. And the husband should never have allowed this. That is one of the areas he went wrong. He was probably just trying to be the good man, so to speak. Okay, go off, meet your ex for some tea. No, guys, your gal should not be hanging out with an ex-boyfriend, whether it's multiple times or just even for a freaking cup of tea. Some people may not like that, but you know what? I've heard too many bad stories here. She says here, I don't even know why I did it or why I let it go on for so long. So yeah, it lasted for 4 months and we were regularly having you-know-what with both at my house and my husband's home, both at mine and my husband's home, my affair partner's home, and hotels whenever his place was unavailable. And yes, he is married with 3 kids. So not only is she a homewrecker not only is she ruining her own marriage because she's a mother, has a kid, but this dude is also married with 3 kids. So and by the way, birds of a feather flock together. This guy is a homewrecker, she's a homewrecker. In a way, they're actually perfect for each other. Remember, this is the lady who said, I've been in this healthy, wonderful, happily fulfilling marriage. You sure about that? She says, during this time, I became increasingly distant from my husband, and he began to notice. He is a very smart man and knows whenever something isn't right. Well, one night he asked me flat out if I was cheating on him. I denied it, of course. Well, they always deny it. But he didn't back down. He told me while looking in my eyes that he knew something was up, but that he wasn't going to let this, but he was going to let this go because he had no proof. However, he said if he found out down the road that I had lied to him, we would be done, no questions asked. Well, good for him for laying down that part of the law, but on the other hand, he shouldn't have backed down. I wouldn't have backed down. I would have kept going and going until she finally caved and admitted it. And she probably would have tried to twist things around and gaslight him. Guaranteed. But I wouldn't have backed down. And at that point, if I strongly suspected something, but I had no proof, I'd hire a PI. I'd have that all revealed real quick. But you see here, she doesn't care. This guy's probably a good guy, does everything right on paper. And she got bored after being married 6 years, and now she needs a roll in the hay. And this guy, it doesn't say if this guy broke up with her or she broke up with him. I'm willing to bet you he probably broke up with her, and therefore she's had an attachment all these years, and now has to go back. That's what I'm thinking here. Anyhow, it goes on. She says, I took that threat very seriously. Well, not seriously enough. And immediately ended it with the AP. He reluctantly agreed to it, and I devoted myself to being the best wife and mother I could possibly be. Then why didn't you just be the best possible wife beforehand? There's an idea. I'll tell you why she did that. You know why, guys? Because she now realized, oh crap, he's on to me, and you know what? He'll leave me. What I tell you guys about women and uncertainty. They hate uncertainty, but they're turned on by it. And when a woman knows that you can walk away like that, that's it, you're done, and you can kick her ass to the side of the road if she pushes you too far, disrespects you, cheats you, any number of bad things, that she's toast, let me tell you, her behavior will change like that, 180, and right there. Exactly. Now, it's not because she loves him, it's because she's afraid. Okay? This is why I say, this is one of the many reasons I'm against marriage, because when people are married, they have this element of feeling safe, so they stop trying. They let themselves go, etc., etc. It doesn't go well. But when two people are in a relationship and they're not married, they both know, whether they realize it or not, the other one can leave in a heartbeat. So they're more inclined to take care of themselves, to treat the other one better, unless they have no respect for the other one. You get my point. Try harder. So that's why I think it's better to have actual just long-term relationship if you're a relationship type of guy or gal, because the other person is going to be better towards you. And you know what? If you're a good person and you are, then you deserve that. But when you're married, figure, hey, he or she isn't going anywhere. Well, now she realizes he may leave. Anyhow, she says, I felt very guilty of how I had neglected my husband and started initiating intercourse more, doing things in bed I normally wouldn't do, helping more around the house with our kid. See? She's all of a sudden now more sex, doing a lot more things in the bedroom than she normally would have done. Before, she was probably doing the bare minimum. Now she's probably doing whatever he wants. All these things to keep him happy because she's afraid he's going to find out and leave her. There you go. My husband was very cold to me in the beginning, but things went back to normal after a while. Now listen to this. One day, my affair partner contacted me via Facebook. I told him in no uncertain terms that we were done, but he said he wanted us to meet one last time. I foolishly agreed to this, and we decided to meet up at a hotel 2 hours from where I live. I wanted to experience this one last time before calling it quits for good. For good, sure. So let's review. The husband confronted her. He pretty much said, I know what you're doing, and I don't have any proof, but if I ever catch you lying or doing this, I'm walking away and we're done. She realized, oh crap, he's serious. So she started behaving, treating him better, helping out around the house like she should have done to begin with, initiating you-know-what, being freakier in the bed. And notice how she said that he'd been treating her coldly. So she was on her best behavior. But the second she said that he started loosening up and started being a little bit nicer to her, now she's back to having the affair one last time. It is unfortunate. Now, we all know, you can tell she's a complete and total a-hole, self-centered, narcissist, absolutely. But there are people like this that unless they know 100% you're going to leave them, or you don't, or if you treat them too well, they're going to see that kindness is weakness and act out. But you will see she gets hers in the end. She says, as you can guess already, this didn't go according to plan. After the affair partner and I were done with the deed, I received a short text from my husband that read, I know where you are, who you're with, and what you're doing. We are done. Don't bother coming home. I transferred half of our savings into your checking account. Have a good life. Awesome. I'm willing to bet you the husband probably was keeping track of her. Maybe he hired a private investigator. I don't know. The fact that she had went away and he knew like that. Who knows? He obviously, when she probably said, I'm going out for the afternoon for something I don't, and knew it was total BS, and tracked her down. Who knows? Awesome. Now listen to this. Listen to the complaining and crying and whining and woe is me that follows. She says, I can't describe the wave of emotions I felt at that moment. I tried calling him and texting him, but he had me blocked on everything. He eventually unblocked my phone number, but said it was only to deal with our son. Everything else was going to be through his lawyer. I've never been more depressed in my life than I was when that happened. Oh, poor baby. No one forced you to go have relations for 4 months with your former boyfriend from college and all sorts of places, including your own home that this guy pays for. And even when this guy pretty much told you, look, I know something's going on, but didn't leave then, you had a second chance, if you will, or maybe he was just setting you up to screw up, and then you went out and did it again. No one feels bad for you. You're a complete asshole, self-centered, you're a narcissist. You're getting what you deserve. You make your bed and you lie in it. She says, I decided to go home the next day, but he wasn't there. Neither was our son. Whenever I texted him, he would only respond if I asked about our son. He sent me a text saying we would each have our son for a week and nothing else. I couldn't talk to his side of the family because they all had blocked me, and my family was very disappointed in me. My best friend is the only person I could talk to. Again, poor baby. You brought this on yourself. You have no reason to whine, no reason to complain. The only redeeming thing you can do at this point is accept this. Okay? It's over. I screwed up. Own up to it. Fine. I'm sorry, even if you're not. And move on and handle this on his terms. That's the only way you can slightly redeem yourself. And anyway, does she do that? Well, no. She says, I literally had no contact with my husband for a whole week, and when I did, it was to inform me that his brother would be bringing our son over to me for a week of custody. This was the most painful period of my life. How could he be so cruel and indifferent? Really? You're calling him cruel and indifferent? How about the cruelty and indifference you had when you were you were hooking up with your ex-boyfriend for 4 months all over hell and creation, including your own house? How about that? You don't think that was cruel? You don't think you had an indifferent attitude and you were being cold to your husband? You're not going to get any pity, honey. Aren't we supposed to talk about things like this? I know I probably didn't. I know I probably don't deserve it. You think? But he never even gave me the chance to apologize or explain because he knows you don't care. He knows the apology is BS because you're trying to save what you have. He can see through it. You're not sorry, and explain what? Oh, I was bored. The AP's sausage is 10 inches long, and I can't pass that up. What are you going to explain? It's over. The guilt I have and the way he's treating me are literally driving me insane. I feel like he never even loved me if he can be this emotionless. See, she's trying to make him out to be, you never cared about me, you never loved me, and that's the reason I cheated. No, I'm sure this guy was a great guy to her. Great husband. You're the a-hole. I'm not even asking him to take me back, just to talk, yell at me, anything. Doesn't he want some form of closure at least? He is getting his closure. He sent you a text. We're done. We're over with. You're hearing from my lawyer. That's it. And very smart of this guy to have only contact with her through something that can be recorded like a text or through his lawyer. I wouldn't be talking to her in person at all because she could just make up anything and said he said this or he did this. Oh, no. If you guys get in a situation like this, make sure it's text, email, or through your lawyer. That way there's proof of every conversation, everything that was said. This I've learned by doing this channel for a couple of years. This brings me to today. I got served divorce papers, and I literally can't believe he can go this far without even having as much as a talk. Poor baby. Yes, I shouldn't have cheated, but I can't help but feel like this reaction is very childish. Childish. Lady, you were hooking up for 4 months. And then when he knew something was up, but you still kind of had a way out, you went and did it again. Childish. Your reaction is childish. You are a giant child. You had your shot. You blew it. I haven't even read the papers or hired a lawyer. Well, that's great for him. Don't hire a lawyer. Just sign the papers. Things just can't end this way. I sent him a text telling him that I would contest this divorce even if it leaves us in financial ruin. Oh, that's real nice. Leaves you in financial ruin. How about your 4-year-old son? How's that going to impact him? Do you care about your son at all? Best thing she can do is just go along with get a lawyer to at least read the documentation and agree, and that's it, and move on. That's the best thing she can do. No. So my question to all you strangers is, what should I do? I'm really lost right now and can't even function. I can't believe my whole life is about to end and I'm not even being given a chance to fix it. Should I contact the police since I don't know where he is and he changed the locks to our house? Any advice would be appreciated. Yeah, here's some advice. F off, lady. You ruined this whole marriage. You had a chance. You ruined it, okay? This guy is doing everything, in my opinion, right. What closure do you need? What closure does he need? You were cheating left and right, okay? It's over. It's done. Accept that this marriage is over and move on. And maybe you might learn something. But the odds are it's not going to happen because she, as you can see here, she's a complete and total narcissist. She's the victim. He's the bad guy. You got to be kidding me. And I'm willing to bet you that probably, even though she didn't write it here, down the road when people ask, she'll probably say, well, the reason I cheated is because he was never around, or because he was working all the time, or because he didn't say he loved me enough. And that would be it to justify those actions. No, it's over. Move on. You're not going to get any pity here. And good for this guy. Now, he should have let her hang out with the ex-boyfriend. Maybe he didn't know. That's a possibility. But that's the only thing that he, in my opinion, did wrong. Well, he also, when he confronted her and said something was up, I would have dug further, but it is what it is. But he's moving on. Now, here's the fun part. I'm going to go over some comments from people that they've said from around the world. And let me tell you, nobody's feeling pity for this broad at all. One guy says, you think your husband's reaction of your ongoing affair is childish. You should have posted it on Am I the A-hole? Because yes, you are the a-hole. Your husband is justified, so put your big girl panties on and deal with the consequences of your actions. Absolutely. Another guy says, I read through your post and it strikes me how very much it is all about you. There really is no respect in there for your husband as his own person. It's almost like you are incapable of feeling anything for him. Everything you feel is about you. There is nothing that you can do to win him back now. He is not coming back. That life is over now, and all you have is to move on. I think that would be good for you to talk to a counselor or therapist about how you can start working on being more compassionate and empathetic with other people. Your life is slowly revolving around you, and it's like you are not capable of thinking about other people at all. She's not. Like I said, I think she's a narcissist. Another guy says, sorry, but you're 100% in the wrong here. You cheat on your husband for months. He told you if he found out you had been cheating, he'd leave you. And so what did you do? Do it again. You're a childish and selfish person, and I applaud your ex for getting out of the relationship with such a horrible person. Amen, brother. Another guy says, in response to her saying, how can he be so cruel? I'm sorry, but he's hurt. He prefers this over confronting you because he doesn't want to be weak and let you F him over again. This was a test. He wanted to see if you were generally over being a cheater, and you weren't. Once a cheater, always a cheater. You proved to him you would do it again and again and again. He was hesitant and cold at the beginning because he was already hurt and didn't want to be weak. But he gave in. He probably thought, I just want to see if she really is over the cheating. Which you weren't. You dug your grave. Men have feelings too. Amen. Right. Once a cheater, always a cheater. And I guarantee you that if he took her back or gave her a second chance, she would do it again because you saw right here. Remember, guys, don't pay attention to somebody's words. Pay attention to their actions. And pretty much their past is going to determine their future. And the last one here is a little longer, but a good one. He says, he's not, with her response to, he's not cruel, this guy says, he's not cruel, he's heartbroken. Your entire post drips in selfishness. You clearly can't take responsibility for your own actions, which directly cause this outcome. There's no one to blame here but you. You cheat on your husband. You were given the chance by the said husband to confess and try to fix things. You denied that. You again decided that you wanted to experience this one last time before calling it quits. Experience what? The thrill of sneaking around with a married man? The thrill of holding something back from your husband? You really are a POS, piece of shit, and deserve the cruelty that your husband, the cruelty, he's saying in quotations, that your husband is showing. You were already offered a second chance and even warned of the consequences, but you decided that getting your thrills was more important. Did you ever consider that your ex was mad, you cut it off, and he told your husband where you were? That you played into this plan. Not only did you actively ruin your own marriage, you happily participate in helping someone else ruin their marriage. How awful the other wife must feel. How awful that your husband is heartbroken. How awful the kids involved have to watch their parents break up the family. Right. Not once is she caring that she's hooking up with some dude, her ex, that has 3 kids. Now that marriage, if they haven't found out already, they will, is over too. They're both, to be perfectly honest, they both deserve each other. I still don't want to know how the husband found out that quickly. I'm wondering if the ex told him, or who the hell knows. But bottom line is this: she's toast. But it's amazing to me, these stories I go over, when these people do these horrible things. And it can go both ways. There are plenty of horrible guys out there that do these things to wives they have that are actually good ones. But this is a men's channel. We're focusing on this situation from the woman's perspective. And they don't care. I say that all the time, we're in Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0. It's not like cheating never ever happened in the history of mankind before, but it seems like it's more and more now than ever. The cheating, open marriages, open relationships, polyamorous this, polyamorous that. It's crazy. My grandparents are turning in their grave at how the times are right now. But anyhow, guys, that'll be a good one to go over here. But she got what she deserved. Poor her, tough shit lady. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, as I always say, if you've got a great story that you want to share with me about something that you, in your personal life, you've overcome, things like I talk about in this channel, by all means, email it to me. If it's definitely a good one, I will certainly cover it in a future video. Also, this goes for crazy types of stories like this. Great articles. And you guys who watch me long enough know the type of articles and stories I like to cover here. By all means, send it to me, because the more I get, the easier it is for me to crank out more and more videos all the time. You know, because it is work trying to find some things sometimes, but thanks to you guys, you send me a lot of good stuff, good material, and I can just keep cranking out the videos all the time now. So I really appreciate that. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.